On today's show, it's time to beat the winter blues, maybe even past due. So what's there to do and where do you do it? We'll have the answers and the end of the blues. Time to take a walk in the park as we launch a new series exploring Minnesota's great state parks. And we start in a very scenic place, Gooseberry Falls. And later, ice is nice, but who would ever think of climbing ice? Turns out lots of folks do, and you're invited. Our Minnesota Bound Classic this week remembers a very special day of fishing in Islamorada, Florida, with former Minnesota twin Doug Meintkevitch. Those stories and more next.
Minnesota Bound. Brought to you by Minnesota's select GMC dealers.
Hi everybody, Raven and I welcome you to the show. All right, by now we all have the winter blues, right? It's been a long winter, needless to say. But there are some solutions to the winter blues. Bill Shirk has the story.
Minnesota winters are cold, snowy, and long. No getting around that. So, if you live here, learn to embrace. How? Well, a visit to the Twin Cities Baker Regional Park provides a snow pile of answers. On any given day, Baker Park's snowmobile burns up the gas grooming trails. The park maintains about 9 miles of pristine cross-country trails. Tracks local Kim Rudd trains on every week.
I love just being in God's creation, just being in the woods and just out in the country. It's wonderful. I'm kind of an introvert, so solitude, training, it's just wonderful.
A lot of the regulars who train for events like the Birkebinder will come out here.
At a slower pace, Baker Park's other 5 miles of trails attract more families, like mine.
Let's go.
Snowshoeing has become pretty popular.
That time says go this way.
It's great exercise and even greater family time. And it's easy, even for a kid.
So is that hard or easy? What do you think?
Easy. Easy or easy.
The toughest part, figuring out where to explore next.
Do you think we're going the right way?
Yes.
Baker will rent you snowshoes if you don't own them. Oh, and you might want to try coming on a weekday.
It's a great time to come out because then you can have the trails more to yourself.
If you prefer a slightly faster pace,
1, 2, 3, go, go, go!
let gravity do the work. Baker's sledding hill is one of those. A scream. The only problem,
Whoa. Whoa. Wait.
on a hill this big, the hoof back up takes time. Now, Baker offers one other big winter draw. Lake Independence. 832 acres of some of the Twin Cities' best fishing. Don't believe me?
Rage, I think I see fish. Let's see if we can catch one quick.
Well, watch a couple of 4-year-olds clean up.
Rage, quick, come reel.
Another fish. Whoa. Ah, I know hold him.
Okay. Look it. What kind of fish is that?
Crappie. Fed his tail.
See you
Bye, Tootsie.
3, 2, 1. Oh. Crosby, what happened?
You missed it.
Here, Crosby. Reel him up. Start reeling. What do you feel? What do you feel? Whoa, look at that one. They're getting bigger.
Dad, I got a big fish.
And to think,
We got a fish.
Baker Park is just one of 24 winter destinations in the Three Rivers Park system.
Here, Let's give him a kiss.
Don't be afraid to embrace our winters.
Ew.
Heck, you can kiss it smack dab on the fish lips if you like, but be warned, at Baker Park, if you try it, you might just like it.
Coming up, it's time for a walk in the park, a Minnesota State Park, that is. We'll go exploring next.
Minnesota Bound, brought to you by Minnesota's select GMC dealers. Ice Force, Connecticut, and by Seven Clans Casino.
Coming up, a new feature we will bring to you once in a while. We call it a walk in the park, and it features Minnesota's beautiful state parks. First up, Gooseberry Falls. Enjoy.
A lot of people come to Gooseberry in the winter because they can retreat away from things. You get into the woods and there's a silence that comes around you. You can just hear the crash of the wave. So it's actually a pretty unique place that's frozen in time. Gooseberry is located in northeast Minnesota, right along the shore of Lake Superior, located about an hour north of Duluth. One of the neatest things about being on the North Shore and here at Gooseberry that I always tell people that the lake always has something to offer, and not everybody always gets to see that. Where we are right now is an area called the Picnic Flow. The different ice formations that we see, it's always just kind of, to me, a little ghostly. Everything takes on a different form. Each year we have over 500,000 visitors. On any given day we can have 1,000 to 2,000 people that come and enjoy the park, and that's true for winter as well. We have lots of groomed ski trails here at Gooseberry that will take you along the Gooseberry River, over different bridges, and even up on the ridge where you can get some really scenic vistas of the lake. Snowshoeing is a neat thing to be able to do here at Gooseberry. You can travel throughout the woods, you can travel along the shore, really take the opportunity to explore the park in solitude. 2 million years ago, the landscape was covered by large glaciers, and these glaciers moved slowly across the landscape, and as they started to melt about 10,000 years ago, they really started to carve out the Gooseberry River. Also, as they began to retreat, they let up a great pressure that had been put on the rocks, and that's another thing that helped create the 5 different tiers of waterfalls that we have here at Gooseberry. One of the big things that people come to look at are the waterfalls. I think it's that kind of mystery of the waterfalls that really attracts people as well. One unique thing that happens here at Gooseberry is ice climbing. A couple times every winter we'll come out, I'll see, a party of 3 or 4 people climbing up either the middle falls or the lower falls.
So these are crampons. They've got these little points on the front to kick into the ice with. I've come out quite a few times. It's a really great place to come and climb. So we're at the top of the falls here, just above a nice looking little section of ice. So these are called ice screws, and they allow us to anchor into ice. Quite a bit different than rock climbing. It's always changing, so every time you come back, it's a little different. It affords new challenges.
So the lower 4 falls are pretty close together. That'd be the upper, middle, and the 2 lower. But the 5th falls is about a mile up the river yet. This area where we are now is the 5th falls, so it's the highest falls that we have here at Gooseberry. Because 5th Falls is in a little deeper of a valley here, there's more water that kind of leaks through the rock. So when it's winter and we have dropping temperatures, we see more of these unique formations forming. If you're a Minnesotan, you've really learned how to embrace winter. You can choose to just stay inside and snuggle up and stay warm, or you can take the opportunity to come out and see the landscape, see what the Minnesota winter has to offer.
Hitting on the outside of the bulges, you know, as it curls over.
Up next, of all the things to do with ice, who thought of ice climbing? Apparently, lots of folks. We'll climb along.
Closed captioning is brought to you by The Yard, premier manufacturers of maintenance-free outdoor patio furniture and accessories from recycled plastic.
Up next, a story that, well, kind of makes you wonder. You wonder why folks do it, but then you have to believe that the folks who are doing it really enjoy themselves. I'm talking about climbing ice.
Minnesotans, we're known for making the best of long winters. We ski, we fish. But what about climbing? Back in 2005, a small group of climbers approached the city of Sandstone. Their idea, organize a winter festival.
We've got ice climbing, there's winter camping going on, there's some great trail hiking around this area. It's a great way to welcome in the winter, get people out and enjoy the park.
So how many people here have climbed any ice at all before? Raise your hand. All right, we're teaching an intro to ice clinic for the Sandstone Ice Fest. We've got about 15 participants and going to get people off the ground and teach them the basics of moving around on ice. Let's walk over to the site. The Sandstone Ice Fest is running all week long. There's clinics, one clinic today and a number of clinics tomorrow, ranging from intro to ice to advanced mixed climbing techniques. You want to kick those feet up and you're better off, much like rock climbing, making a few small movements than one giant movement.
Climbing the cold stuff comes with challenges, mainly the ice itself.
When you see terrain like some of these kind of chandeliered stuff that's in here, or these bulges, you know, hitting on the outside of the bulges, you know, as it curls over, those tend to shatter and they pull off what we call dinner plates because they're kind of round chunks and they land on your head or your chest or your knee and can be less than pleasant. Really get that hand up high. It's a little different than rock climbing. Some of the movements are similar, but I think it's maybe a little more strength intensive sometimes. All right, a few steps, you're gonna get a little more vertical. Take it up a notch.
It's a great facility. We've got the parks open year-round for climbing. And in the last couple of years, the Minnesota Climbers Association's worked with the city of Sandstone to add plumbing above the cliffs. So now they can make their own ice as they go.
Awesome.
Question is, what do the students think of Ice Climbing 101?
Feels good. Second time here. That was excellent. That was awesome. Found a new hobby.
The first thing I was thinking of was, how can I get out of this? How can I chicken out? But you know, everybody else did it, so then I tried it and it wasn't that hard.
Well, I've done rock climbing before and I thought it might be similar to that, but I wasn't too sure about the ice. I don't really like the cold, but I wasn't too scared of it.
The lesson, just get outside and climb. It's what we do here in a cold Minnesota.
Still ahead, it turned out to be a magical day of deep-sea fishing with former Minnesota twin Doug Meintkevitch. Like a home run with Sailfish. The action next.
Minnesota Bound, brought to you by Radco Truck Accessories, Minnesota Agricultural Water Resource Center, and by Visit Grand Rapids.
Coming up, a Minnesota Bound classic story about fishing that I will never forget. It also features former Minnesota twin Doug Meintkevitch, and the two of us ended up in a school of sailfish.
Oh, he's going now. He's gonna go now. I'm keeping pressure. He's taking some line slowly now. He's going down. Taking a little more line. He's picking up some speed. I'm not gaining anything on him.
What began with one sailfish hooked grew into two.
Here he comes. He's coming up.
I mean, he's taking out so much line, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, he's out 400 yards.
Yeah, he's out there. He went to Cuba.
Mine's just hanging out.
Boy, he's got to be over there by that ship.
There he comes. Jump, sweetheart.
Oh, wow!
Of all the memorable moments in sport fishing, a leaping sailfish ranks high in the mind.
Good, beautiful.
But little did we know, this sailfish encounter was just a warm-up for later sailfish pandemonium. This is Isla Morada in the Florida Keys, famed as a place where tourists come to play. It's also where anglers come to play, such as here at Bud and Mary's Marina, an Isla Morada landmark. As the pelicans watched us head out to sea, and as we tossed nets to gather bait, we had no clue. We were about to enter a sailfish twilight zone.
There he goes.
Starting with sailfish number one.
Pressure's on me.
There he is.
You see him, Doug?
Yeah.
Okay, try to hold his fin up if you get a hold of him, too.
There he is.
All right. This is my first sailfish.
One sailfish in the boat and released, number two on the line.
Whoa, good job.
Moments later, there were more sailfish.
There. Oh! That's what they're supposed to do. That is so cool. I mean, he jumped about 5 times in a row there, just skittering on the surface. Big sail in the air.
Sailfish on, sailfish off. Holy ball game. And then a triple.
No! 3 on?
It's such a spectacular fish, brilliant colors, you know, the spectacular aerobatics of it. And you know, the way they charge up to the boat and you're casting at them, and you know, I don't think there's any fish that can really be duplicated in that way.
When I'm fighting a sailfish, I think of so many things. I think of what did I do? Obviously did I tie my knots right for the first thing, but you know, you just realize how much power and how much strength are in those fish.
He's hanging down there. He made some spectacular jumps, and now he just stand down. It's just sort of we catch up with him, and then he takes as much line as he wants.
It could be 2 hours of boredom followed by 10 minutes of straight pandemonium, and that's what it turns into. When you hook one, it's just nonstop.
Oh, whoa!
When the game was over, 16 sailfish had come to bat. 16 moments with bases loaded, 2 outs, bottom of the ninth.
This day was one of those, like I said, hopefully I'll be able to tell my grandkids about. And hopefully it won't be the last I have. To see that many fish and have that many opportunities at them, it was just like one of those things that, you know, like I said, I'll take to my grave.
A perfect game of fishing pitched by Sailfish.
Wow, you know, I just will never forget that trip, as I said. Lots of sailfish, and of course, Doug Meintkevitch went on to play for the Boston Red Sox and win the World Series. That about does it for us. Remember, we introduced a kid to the great outdoors. I'm Ron Sharon, of course, always the star of the show, and she knows it, is Raven.
Transportation provided by Premier Transportation, Call 1-800-899-7433. For more information on these stories and more, catch us on the web at mnbound.com.